I don't want to sound like the Grandma Moses of folk music, but I knew this next young gentleman's father very well, and I loved him very much. And he was a great man. And though I realize there's something of a generation gap these days, I think the older generation can maybe feel a little bit happier about the kind of job it's done when we look around and discover that we were in part responsible for young musicians who are as creative, as positive, as exciting, as intelligent, and as all-round good human beings as Arlo Guthrie.
California is a weird place. They got a place in California. It's called Los Angeles. Outside of Los Angeles is a place called Orange County. Inside of Orange County, they got a place called Huntington Beach. It's got a beach. Near the beach, they got a big pier that kind of goes way out into the water from the beach, so that they could, it's a surfing place, and they like to see who's still surfing and who's falling off the surfboards. Because, well, it's terrible, because the best waves go under the pier, and the best surfers ride the best waves. That's why they got the pier, to see who's surfing under it and who's surfing around it. It's real weird. It was an ugly pier, and we were walking away from the pier. The pier was going out like that, and we were walking down the beach away from that ugly pier. And the farther we got away from the pier, the nicer the pier got. Anyway, we walked for miles away. And in the direction of the place where we were going, we saw something very strange. It was a 1-inch guy. Well, we knew that he wasn't 1 inch, so we figured he was a long way away. And next to him was his dog, or it looked like his dog, but we weren't really sure if it was his, but we guessed it was his dog. Anyway, all of a sudden we heard this call: "Attention on the beach. No dogs on the beach." Well, that's when we knew that it was a dog. We heard the call again: "Attention on the beach. No dogs on the beach." But the dog didn't understand and stayed on the beach. Well, eventually, we heard that call again from the pier, but I won't repeat it. And the guy took his dog away because he knew that it was his dog that they were talking about. But we decided to investigate. Where was that voice coming from? That was a gas in the middle of the beach. To hear the voice, we started walking toward the ugly pier. On the way, we met 5 lifeguard houses, all within 3 feet of each other. They had little orange stairways that went up to where the lifeguards would sit, and a little platform where he would jump off and break his leg. On the back of each little orange lifeguard house was a sign. It was the same sign on every house, and it was a list of Huntington Beach rules and regulations. And we stopped for a moment to get some insight into Huntington Beach and read the rules. The first rule said, no hazardous beach games. We didn't think anything of it until somebody said, hey man, what's a hazardous beach game? Well, we sat around and thought, and the only two we could come up with was sunning and swimming. Games like shooting and fighting, they were hazardous, but they weren't beach games. You could play them in the street. So we couldn't think of any other games that you could play on the beach, that you couldn't play on the street. Anyway, we forgot all about that rule when we came to rule number 2. No holes over 2 feet. Well, imagine like a 5-year-old kid out there digging a hole in the sand, and he's got down to 1'11". And all of a sudden he hears the call, attention on the beach. Stop that digging. And they come out with a ruler that goes sideways, and they stick it in the ground. They say, all right, you got another inch to go. They stand around the kid. The crowd gathers. He doesn't even want to play anymore, but he's got to. He digs his other inch, but he still can't fit his tractor in the tunnel. What's he gonna do? The people are all hip to the problem, and they all start taking the beach away. Kicking the beach, just lowering the whole beach, throwing it in the air, in the breeze, in the trees, in the ocean. So he's got a few more inches. I said that at Huntington Beach. What a dumb idea that was. And they all looked at him and said, oh, damn, dirty commie, folk singer. I said, hey, listen, hey, I come from the beach, come from Coney Island. We got a beach over there. But we don't have rules like no dogs on the beach. I mean, I can understand, like, well, we have no roller skating. But who's gonna roller skate at Coney Island on the beach? First of all, most likely you get beat up and your skates copped from you. That's the first reason not to go roller skating. And the second one is it could ruin your roller skates. And then you could ruin the beach. All the dead roller skaters on the beach there. It could be a drag, for the roller skates and everybody. I could understand like no dogs on a beach. You don't want the dogs to piss on the beach while you're there sunbathing, But like in Coney Island, even the people piss on the beach. Well, wait a minute. Well, hey, they figure it's their beach, You piss on it, you lie in it, it's cool, Because the beach belongs to the people, and it doesn't belong to the sign. Well, I said that at Huntington Beach, and they all were looking mean and nasty. And I said, hey, listen, I didn't come just to put down, honey. I didn't come just to put it down. I didn't come just to put you guys down. I came with a constructive criticism. I learned that in high school. Never put anything down without a constructive criticism. And the suggestion was to have all the kids dig all the 2-foot holes in one area, right? Because you can stop the dogs from coming on the beach, but what about the birds? There's a lot more birds than dogs dive bombing all over the beach. That's a lot more tragic and a lot more embarrassing than dogs. You can beat the dog up, I said, so you dig all the holes in one area, and then you put birdseed in the holes, right? Then the birds come to eat the birdseed, and the dogs come to chase the birds. Then you throw the signs at the dogs. You pull the kids out, the birds and the dogs, and you bury it all in there. And then you got a clean beach with no signs and no problems, Anyway, I don't think it worked out too well. But the only reason I'm telling you this is kind of an introduction to the beach song. This is the first beach song that was ever written. It dates back to Egypt when the Nile overflowed and the water came up from the side of the Nile and formed a pool of water. The Pharaoh said, wow, jumped in the pool, started charging a quarter. It was the first quarter for a swim pool. Anyway, the years went by and Moses came down the river. Moses was the original swimmer. Came swimming in, grew up there. One day said to the Pharaoh, said, "Pharaoh, let my people swim." Pharaoh said, "Okay, see that ocean? Swim." Well, Moses was cool, put on a bathing suit, went in the water, started swimming with all the people. You didn't hear it like that, because Moses was a wise man. He said, "Who's gonna believe that we swam across that ocean?" Well, tell them it opened up. What's the difference? We got there, right? Who's gonna know? The tragedy was that with the telling, the original swim song got lost. This song, the vibrations of which will keep you afloat if you sing it over and over again. You could swim anywhere. We're gonna try it now. It goes like this. I like to swim in the water. I like to swim in the water. Water, water, and water. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim. That may sound strange. That's because it's an English translation of the original Egyptian. Anyway, the song went all around the world and eventually ended up in England as an English folk song. One day the Puritans decided to swim across the Atlantic. It's the Great Mayflower Swim. They ended up in Plymouth, they got their towels, they dried off, they sat down. And they said, "Hey man, there's nowhere else to swim." So they changed it to a farming song. The first farming song ever written. But what happened was, because of the change in the climate, they also had to change the rhythm. So instead of being in 3/4, it came to be 4/4. And because of the Industrial Revolution, they changed from flat picks to finger picks. Anyway, you all heard the original farming song, because it traveled all across the nation in covered wagons, in station wagons, everywhere that it could go. When you might have heard that. Well, went through a lot of changes. Jazz went up the river. Went down the river. It's moving around. Became a lot longer. What are you clapping for? You don't know what song this is. This could be any song. Keep on trucking, mama. It's not that song, though. I mean, assuming that you did know what song it was, you still wouldn't know which version of the song it was. And there's 3 versions, and nobody likes all 3 versions. The last time America clapped before they knew what version of the song they were about to hear, we all elected Lyndon Johnson President of the United States. What are you clapping at that for? You guys are weird out here. I would just forget it, man. He has. Anyway, the song became gnarled, twisted, industrialized, until it was all thought of the original Egyptian words had disappeared. The vibes disappeared. There was nothing left. But with California sinking into the ocean, Florida about to go, the words are coming back. People are learning how to swim. The vibes are going around the world. People are picking up the old words. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim. Newport's got a beach. It's a strange beach. You might be sleeping out there sometime, somebody come along and beat you up, freak you out, rub you out, drown you, bury you in the sand. It's a strange beach. Anyway, if you don't believe that California is falling into the ocean and that Florida is about to go, you don't have to believe that. All you have to know is the original words to the ancient Egyptian swim song, the way the Puritans sang it when they were swimming across the Atlantic in the original American version. That's not the farm version, though. We'll wait for it to come around again. Everybody's got to try it. It might rain tomorrow, and you could get wet, even drowned if it rains a lot. You should be prepared for the worst or the best. Here it is. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim and I swim. Swim, swim, swimmy, I swim. As we remember the old American farm songs that got changed, Before I close this evening, I would like to dedicate one song to a great American organization. And as many of you may know, there really aren't too many great American organizations. But tonight I'd like to dedicate this to our boys in the FBI. Don't laugh. It's hard to be an FBI man. First of all, you have to be over 40. And the reason is that it takes at least 25 years with the organization to be that much of a bastard. Well, you just can't join. It needs an atmosphere where your natural bastardness can grow and develop and take a meaningful shape in today's complex society. But that's not why I want to dedicate the song to the FBI. I mean, the work that they have to do is a drag, following people around. Following me around on the highway in my car, run out of gasoline, I pull over to the side of the road. They gotta pull over, make believe they ran out. On the airplanes, I fly half fare because I'm 12 to 22 and they gotta pay the full fare. When you pay the full fare, you gotta get on the airplane first so that they know how many seats are left over for the half fare kids. Sometimes there ain't any seats left over. Sometimes there is, but that doesn't mean that you have to go. Suppose there's one seat left and he gets on, fills it up. He gets off, then you can get on. Then what's he gonna do? That's a drag. That's not why I want to dedicate the song to the FBI, though. I mean, during these hard years, hard days, everybody has a kind of a bad time once in a while, and you always have a friend that says, hey man, you ain't got it so bad. Look at that guy, and you look at that guy, and he's got it worse than you. And it makes you feel good that there's somebody that's got it worse than you. That's all right. That's okay. But think of the last guy. Take a minute out and think of the last guy. That guy is so alone in the world. He don't even have a street to lie in for a truck to run him over. He's out there, nothing's happening for that guy. And all he's got to do to create a little excitement in his own life is to get a dime from somebody and call up the FBI. Say, FBI? They say, yeah. You say, I dig Uncle Ho and Chairman Mao and their friends are coming over for dinner. And before you know it, 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes from when he hangs up, but 2 minutes from when he first put the dime in. They got 30,000 feet of tape rolling around, pictures, files on tape, movies, dramas, action, popcorn, everything on tape. They find out all they can about the guy, and then they send out 500,000 people all over the world. Finding out, if this guy was the last guy in the world, how did he get a dime to call the FBI? There's plenty of people that ain't the last guy that can get dimes. He comes along with a dime. How'd he know the number of the FBI? Think about it. I mean, if he had to bum a dime to call the FBI, how's he gonna have money to have dinner for friends Uncle Ho and Chairman Mao? How could the last guy make dinner? And if he was gonna have dinner for these guys, then why did he call the FBI? They find all of that stuff out in 2 minutes. And that's a great thing about America. Not that this is the only country this ain't the only country in the world that can find stuff out in 2 minutes, but only country in the world that would take 2 minutes for that guy. Other countries say he's the last guy, screw him. But this country, there is no discrimination. There's no hypocrisy. They'll get anybody, and that's one of the beautiful things about America. And that's why I want to dedicate this song tonight to our friends in the FBI, because there may be some in the audience tonight. I know you can't say nothing out there. You're sitting there with your friends. You're not really your friends, but you're sitting there uptight now. Do I know you? Can I point you out? Spotlight on the stage? You won't say nothing. You won't stand up and go. Everybody look at you and say, hey, he's an FBI. That's why I'm going to dedicate this to all you big bastards out there. It's called The Paws of Mr. Claus. It's a Christmas carol. Why do you sit there so strange? Is it because you are beautiful? You must think you are deranged. Why do police guys beat up peace guys? You must think Santa Claus weird. He has long hair and a beard, giving his presents for free. Why do police guys beat up peace guys? Let's get Santa Claus, 'cause Mr. Claus has the red suit, he's a communist, and a beard and long hair must be a pacifist. What's in the pipe that is smoking? Mr. Claus sneaks in your house at night. He must be a dope fiend to put you uptight. Why do police guys beat on peace guys? Thank you.
Arlo Guthrie. Arlo Guthrie.
Living in golden temples, my love is flowing on heavenly seas. The silent commands are heard throughout the lands, and weaving his patterns with ease. All of the beautiful mountains beyond can surely not tempt me to stay. Even my musical melody thoughts are memories in yesterday. Wave upon wave of life within me, give me the strength to go on. Wave after wave of this love all around me, give me the time to catch on. Wave after wave of life within me, give me the strength to go on. Wave upon wave of love all around me, give me the time to catch on. Living in golden temples, my love is flowing on heavenly seas. The silent commands are heard throughout the lands, and weaving his patterns with ease. All of the beautiful mountains beyond can surely not tempt me to stay. Even my musical melody thoughts are memories in yesterday. Wave upon wave of life within me, give me the strength to go on. Wave after wave of love all around me, give me the time to catch on. Wave after wave of love within me, give me the strength to go on. Wave after wave of this love all around me, give me the time to catch on.